So what does it feel like to look back at that?
Oh boy, it's definitely a flash to the past, I'll tell you that. I haven't seen her in a long time either.
Right?
Yeah.
So that's actually Sherry.
That is Sherry,
right?
In the video, yeah.
Cool. As I told the nation before, we are going to take questions on the phone line and also faxes. But here is a snapshot of the Shady for the love of strange medicine.
Yes.
There we go. Steve Perry's back in the house. It's good. It's good to have you back, man.
Thanks.
All right, now let's just jet back. I mean, I guess 10 years ago. I mean, you were with Journey for what, about 10 years?
10 years exactly.
Right,
Yeah.
10 years, 35 million records.
Yeah.
Roughly. That's a lot of change.
There's a lot of touring too, a lot of playing, yeah.
And then after what, it was about 86, 87, you just decided?
It was exactly 10 years that we were in Anchorage, Alaska, February 1st, and you know, a lot of things had happened that last 2 years. The band wasn't getting along, you know. I was no day at the beach, but nobody was a picnic in the park at that point, you know, and my life had changed too. A few relatives had passed away, and you know, Journey would tour for about, 10 months, make a record, then tour for another 10 months, and I finally just had to get off the merry-go-round and stop, you know. So I did. For the first 2 years, I didn't listen to music. I didn't write music. And then slowly started writing music, and here I am 8 years later with a new band and a new record.
That's great. Now, so the whole time you were writing? You were writing?
I was writing some music, but I was recording stuff from my private collection, which I'm actually selling at the shows now. A little private stash.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Some CD stuff that I want people to hear.
Well, that's cool. Now, one thing I've always admired about you, you have such a powerful, emotional, soulful voice.
I owe you money for saying
Hey, that's okay. No, but it's true. I mean, you're one of those singers that just kind of like, you can just evoke emotion, just when you bring it up. You sing from the heart.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Were there anybody that you really listen to that you kind of admire?
Yeah, you know, all my life, Sam Cooke was a big influence in me, and Marvin Gaye, and I mean, there was some great singers. Jackie Wilson was one of the most powerful vocalists I'd ever heard when I was young. I was a young kid, and I heard this voice, and it was just unbelievable.
Now, and the way the band came together, it was almost like the band that had to be. It was almost like destined.
This band right now,
for you,
yeah, it's true. It fell together because I first met Paul Taylor through the fan club, and we hung out a little bit, and this guitar player fell into our hands through the label because of a tape I had heard named Lincoln Brewster. And then Moise Lucas Jr., the drummer, came into rehearsal one day when we really were kind of looking for a drummer, but not really. And he asked if he could audition, brought his drums in, boom, that was done. And then we sort of shuttled bass players around. And right now we have Todd Jensen playing bass.
Okay, cool. And a lot of the songs from the CD are actually kind of like that live from before.
It is, exactly. It's live, like very similar to what we used to do in Journey, which is rehearse live and get the feel going and capture that live sound.
All right, cool. How does it feel? How does it really feel to be back, though? You know, back out there performing. Because actually, you got to remind you that you're performing tomorrow night at Massey Hall
with Sass.
Sass Jordan.
That's right, Sass, who's very sexy and very powerful.
Yeah, she is.
She's been a lot of fun, and she's singing her, what off.
I could see you guys doing something together.
That would be great. Yeah. Who knows? Before the tour's over, we might lose her at the end of this leg, which ends near Christmas, because I hear she's going to make a record. So.
Cool. So the whole writing process for this record, I mean, it must have been. Because it almost seems like there's little bits of you in there. Well, let's put it this way: how much of Steve Perry is actually in there? I mean,
I think I'm pretty much spread out through the whole thing, but the members of the group contributed a lot as far as the writing and the original seeds of some of the songs.
Right.
You know, Paul would come up with something, Lincoln would come up with something, and then I'd jump in and work on the melody and arrangements with him, and we would construct it in a warehouse situation, much like this here.
Right.
And then jam it real hard, test drive it like a car, and then go record it.
Cool. And you also, everything I've read about you, you really love chord changes.
If I could just get a couple of chord inversions that really are emotional, then I'm gone. I'm in some fantasy land.
Right. So that's obviously really important for you then.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And Paul Taylor has some beautiful inversions, as does Lincoln Brewster on guitar.
All right, cool. Now, where does the tour take you? I mean, where have you been so far?
Well, gosh, we started on the West Coast, and we've ended up out here. Now we're up here in Toronto. We're going to end up going back down towards Florida, and then head back to the West. And then Christmas ends that part of it, and then we're going to turn around and come out and do it again right after Christmas. And then I don't know. I think we're probably going to go to Japan, go to Europe, and then come back and do the spring.
Cool. Now, I understand too is that when you left Journey, it almost seems like it was almost like some I guess, unsettled business. You know, it's,
I don't think there's any good way for things to come to an end when they're rocky, when they're ending. You know, any relationship that ends rocky is going to probably not be smooth on the way out. I've never seen it happen in personal relationships or in, music relationships. There is some unfinished emotional business, I think, you're right, but I don't know what to say about that except that I didn't make a record for 8 years, and the guys have made countless projects, but this is my first thing in 8 years, and it just means a lot to me, the people I'm working with, the music we wrote together, and the opportunity to be back out here and talking to you.
Steve Perry Interview Part 1.